Hey everyone, I'm so excited to have you join us today. If you enjoy, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's video, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our future content. We're building an awesome community here, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. Looking around, the battle had already ended. The arms and legs had been cut, and their pride had been shattered. However, Ryo didn't put his sickle away. The fight wasn't over until he was satisfied. Ryo said, "Stop whining. You won't die with just that and infected on you. These guys are finished next is." Ryo looked back. Ryumin, who was hiding behind the tree, trembled. Ryo said, "It won't matter even if you try to hide, you know." Ryo's sickle moved. At that moment, one of Ryumin's arms was cleanly cut off. Ryo said, "Stop being such a crybaby." Ryo had lived through worse pain than having his arm cut off, all because of the Ryumin gang. The daily torment from the thugs was an unbearable pain for the victim. Ryo's sickle moved again. Ryumin, whose other arm was also cut off, let out a painful scream. Sangcheol said silently, "To think he'd be able to mercilessly take two arms off of an opponent who's already lost the will to fight. Though it may seem harsh to some people, to me I like that type of cool-headedness. That black Scythe person indeed rivals even the president." After slicing Ryumin's thigh a few more times, Ryo glanced over at Sangcheol and then approached them with an indifferent impression. Though he was an ally, Sangcheol couldn't help but feel tense. Ryo said, "Are you all right?" He replied, "Yes, thanks to you. You won't have to worry about them attacking you. As you can see, they won't even be able to move, so it'll be best to vote." Sangcheol bowed his head, and Aaron followed suit, and they said, "Thank you very much for helping us." Aaron said, "Whoever won't they die at this rate? So what if they die? They're not even at the level of animals." And he said silently, "She's away to soft. Why does she even care about those bastards' leaves, as if she's some kind of saint? Maybe she's trying to maintain her image since she's celebrity." Sangcheol said, "May I ask you something? I hope you don't mind. What is it? Why did you spare them? It shouldn't be a problem in this world even if you kill them." Ryo replied, "The reason why I didn't kill them, it's simple. I get no benefit from killing them." "No benefits?" "Still though, even behind something that could cause trouble in the future," Ryo replied, glancing over at Ryumin's group, who were all avoiding eye contact. "Can these guys really cause trouble in the future? Also, nothing good comes out of decreasing population, since the number of the Finnish participants will also decrease because of that." Sangcheol said silently, "It is as he says. If the number of the participants decrease, the number of place for those who have finished the round will also decrease. He has even thought about those kinds of things. Understanding of the game is different from the others." Then he said to Ryo, "I understand. We won't pay attention to those trashes then." Ryo replied coolly, "Well then, I'll go now," and disappearing into the forest. Sangcheol was impressed by Ryo's generosity. He helped them without asking for anything in return. Sangcheol feels a great deal of admiration for Ryo's lack of greed. No, he needed to report back this accident to the representative as soon as possible. How did he turn to leave? He noticed the man who had attacked him earlier and whimpering in pain. He wanted to kill them, but as Ryo had said, there was nothing to gain from me. He spat on him and said, "Let's go, Aaron." In the forest, some players hunted and leveled up, while in the open field, a heated debate was talking twice. The discussion quickly turned into a market-like atmosphere, with people vying for attention, and said, "Please vote for me. If you vote for me as the region representative, I know I'll do well." One person shouted, "No, rather than someone like him, I'm confident that I do better." Another argued, "What? Someone like me? You fat bastard! What did you say? What did you just call me? You two please don't fight. Even if we all team up, we're still lacking in the strength, so what good will fighting do?" He's right. People who get agitated easily have no right in becoming the representative. I'll become the representative instead. Hold it, my father is a member of the Congress. Shouldn't someone like me be the representative? Insulted and curses were flying back and forth from that every direction. Suddenly, A young man with a firm face clapped his hands and calmed the crowd. He went by the nickname of Mint Chocolate Boy and said, "Everyone, there's only 2 hours left on until voting ends. We shouldn't be wasting our time like this. We need to hurry up and vote. Then how will we decide who to vote on? Do you have a suggestion?" As people listened closely, the young man smiled inwardly, and he said, "These people, they're following me words intently. Has accepted, people are falling for it again. From my persuasion, rune." He was disappointed when he first pulled the random rune piece and got the rune of persuasion. After all, it was a useless rune that didn't work on monsters. However, it wasn't that case with people. No matter what he said, people listened and acknowledged him. That's what the rune of persuasion was all about. It's not scammy rune either. It just says that the chances of persuasion increase with proper explanation. He easily passed the first round by using people as a shield to defeat 100 goblins. While he was laughing to himself, he said, "If things go well this time too, I can become the region representative easily." Then said to others, "Everyone, we should first decide on the candidates. We sure narrow down our options to roughly 5 people and vote between them. That's not a bad idea. It makes sense. We would never accomplish anything if we just keep asking each other to vote for ourselves. Then let's narrow down our options first. If there's anyone who you'd like to recommend, please raise your hand and state who." Obviously you aren't allowed to recommend that yourself. If we did that, then we'd just be repeating the same thing as earlier. Silence fell upon the crowd of 5,000 people. There was no obvious candidate in sight. No one wanted to recommend someone else. As expedite, everyone's quiet, but he also wouldn't want to recommend someone else either. Mint Chocolate Boy was placed with the situation unfolding as expected. If it continues like this, the list of candidates can only narrow down to those who stand out. Without any suitable candidates, that chance of him who currently received the most attention being mentioned as a candidate were high, and he'll just need to wait a little longer, and as expected. Thankfully, someone raised their hand and recommended him. Mint Chocolate Boy held back his laughter and said, "Me? Yeah, you're also controlling the situation right now. Well, no." He smiled and said, "Thank you for taking off me so favorable. Is there any other?" Another candidate appeared and said, "I'd like to recommend Black Scythe." But Mint Chocolate Boy, they had a smile on his face, and this was also expected. The previous round's top ranker can't be left out as a candidate. Since he had caught so much attention early on and had overwhelming results in the ranking, it was expected though that Black Scythe would be mentioned as a candidate. As expected, someone raised their hand. I recommended the 2 and 3 place rankers as well. Life is a Commentary, Tooth Away place, and Black Flame Dragon in 3th place. Mint Chocolate Boy said, "With this, we have 4 candidates. We still have a spot left. Is there anyone else?" The youth smiled and quickly proceeded, knowing that fewer candidates were better, and said, "Then let's just say that we have 4 candidates. Before we vote, can each person come forth to make a statement?" Then he stepped forward and said, "I'll go first. If I become the region representative, I won't disappoint." Suddenly, stop your bullshit. Mint Chocolate Boy turned his gaze to look in the direction of the voice. A man with a rough appearance walked out from the crowd. His nickname was Life is a Commentary. He said, "I can't continue listening to the bullshit you're going on about. What are you doing?" Mint Chocolate Boy, you must think that the world is really fucking easy, don't you? People just do wherever you tell them to do with just a few words, don't they? Mint Chocolate Boy didn't show it, but he was surprised inwardly. What? Did he figure out my skill? No, he could be just saying this. In that moment, that man shook his head disapprovingly, displaying his discomfort. Who the hell do you think you are to decide who the reason representative is? Mint Chocolate Boy replied, "You've crossed the line. There's a saying that goes, a person's word is their face and personality. Must you really use such hostile words? Are you really trying to lecture me? Do you have a death wish?" Mint Chocolate Boy was at a loss. My skill, is it working on him? Don't tell me there's no way. In the moment of confusing life is that the commentary spoke to the people. "Hey, you sons of bitch, damn the candidate shit and just vote for me. I kill you if you don't, all right? Mint Chocolate Boy said, "This guy really is stupid mess. Do you really think people will listen to you when you're talking like that? Stop embarrassing yourself and go back." Out of nowhere, Life as a Commentary was next to him. He drew a short sword and stabbed Mint Chocolate Boy. "I told you, didn't I? I'll kill you if you mess with me." Life as the documentary repeatedly sliced Mint Chocolate Boys with his short sword, standing up with a face covered in blood. For a moment, people froze at the gruesome murder scene. Life at documentary said to them, "Come fight me if you have a problem." Someone said, "You're insane. That guy must be out of his mind." Life, a documentary, smiled and said, "If you're not going to come fight me, do you want me to go to you?" Jumping into the crowd, he swung his dagger, and blood splattered as two people collapsed, their throats slit. Life, a documentary, went on a rampage, stabbing anyone in his way. While this, he said, "This is the best. There's no police reporters or cameras. I can kill them as much as I please. If you don't vote for me, I kill you in the next round no matter what." So scared they froze, they couldn't even catch their breath. Life is a documentary, said silently, "Now they'll vote for me because they're scared of what I will do to them. If I can just become the region representative like this." And he said too, "Black Scythe, I'll kill that annoying asshole first. If I can just kill him, I ain't being rank 1. As Rio's scythe sliced through the waist of the gnoll, a message flashed on his screen. "Gnoll has been defeated! 3x experience point buff applied. Experience gained, +3. 15%. Gold gained, +20. Current kill count, 265 1/100ths. All stats increased by 100% due to the Rune of Slaughter. Level up. You are now level 16, Rio said. And he looking at his statistics. Am I just barely level 16 now? The pace at which I level up is slower now that's my levels high. Even though I killed over 200 monsters in the past 2 hours, I barely managed to level up 6 times. I guess the upside was the hunting was easy. It's obvious though, since I have both the Reaper rune and Butcher rune. After putting the scythe in the inventory, a message appeared in front of him, notifying him that it was time to vote. Voting time has arrived, summoning the players in the region to the starting point. In the blink of an eye, the environment around Rio changed as he was teleported from the forest to a wide-open field. The players who were at the starting points were surprised to see how many players had been summoned from the forest, but they were also surprised to see the bloodbath at the starting point. They said, "Player corpses." What in the world happened here? The bloodstains and corpses scattered throughout the area were enough to shock the players who had gone into the forest. Rio, however, wasn't surprised and said silently, "Looks like Cho Jung-sik gained superiority again this time. Cho Jung-sik is the boss of the Jung-sik gang and the 2DF most talented fighter in his district. Too bad his personality is completely trash. It's always better to remove a ticking time bomb before it can go off. But now's not the time." That's moment, Jung-sik noticed Rio looking at him and approached him. "Hey, Black Scythe, where have you been? I've been waiting a long time for you." Rio replied, "What do you want?" "Nothing much, I just have a suggestion. I get straight to the point. Serve me." お前はもう死んでいる。